Hey, it's Dalton Grados with Grados Capital. Hope you are doing well. Coming to you with some important updates to look forward to for this week as we wrap up September and head into October. So, real quick, just to recap last week, we saw the market come down and test its previous levels and made a full 10% correction. Now, we reached the point that in the S&P and in the Nasdaq that if we were to break below, that we would fall further into a 15% correction, or we could have bounced and it would have confirmed our 10% correction. We did bounce. So on Friday, if you were paying attention to the markets, you would have seen that we were actually starting to trend up and look bullish on Friday as we closed the market and into the weekend. Looking ahead into October, expect volatility. There was an important article on MarketWatch that was going through October in history, even when it's not an election year. Just October in general, any year in the past, has typically been a very volatile month. So expect, again, much more of the same volatility that we've seen in the past several weeks. Now, this coming week, September 28th to October 2nd, there's going to be some key events that will shift the market. The first being, and I think probably the most significant, is on Tuesday, we have the first debate between President Trump and Joe Biden. This debate is going to really be a game changer for the markets this week and also really the country, I think, in general. The markets are going to want to see Trump do well. So we'll see what will happen, but there's going to be issues and things that come up that maybe we weren't anticipating, and depending on their responses, could definitely affect the market. So really be sitting on some cash and watch that debate and see how it unfolds, and we'll see what the markets do the following day on Wednesday and into the end of this week. We also have a reporting of the quarterly U.S. GDP. So the GDP is the most significant factor in terms of the U.S. economy. So that'll be a number to look out for. They're expecting, I believe it's negative 31%. So if it's above expectations, that'll be stock market positive. If it's below expectations, of course, that'll be negative. Now, moving into earnings, October is going to be a huge month for earnings because at the end of the month, we have, on the 21st, we have Microsoft and Boeing reporting earnings. And then the last week of October, I'm looking here, we have Google, Spotify, AMD, Apple, and Amazon all reporting their earnings in the final week of October. So I have some long calls on Apple, and when I say long, they expire October 30th. I got them a week ago. So I'm experimenting with some longer term plays. I've been saying that in this uncertain market, you're either going to be doing longer term plays or you're going to be doing scalping. Quite frankly, I've been doing both. So I have some options on Apple that expire on October 30th. Apple's going to be having a lot of events in October, including the unveiling of their new iPhone, and they're going to be reporting earnings on the 28th. Tuesday, we also have Micron reporting their earnings, so that could be a good play this week, either the pre-earnings write-up or the earnings continuation. That's ticker MU. They are a semiconductor chip maker. And we have many other earnings from smaller but still significant companies again, later in October that we could start buying some longer term options on. We have McDonald's, Netflix, Snapchat, eBay, some of the airlines, AT&T, American Express, Ford, all reporting earnings in October. So it should be a good month for those plays. And yeah, it should be a pretty crazy week in the stock market. Again, we'll see what happens. We always play the market that we see. Don't forget that. So even if I'm holding longer term calls, well, I can also be profiting on the dips that it takes along the way with some shorter term put plays. Some other interesting news to keep an eye on is we have areas in New York City right now that are seeing a big spike in corona cases, and the mayor of New York City, Mayor de Blasio, is saying that he may look into locking down New York again. Meanwhile, the state of Florida has completely reopened as of this past Friday, and I am in Florida. So yes, we have removed the rest of our COVID restrictions, and it's basically back to normal. So we have two of these dichotomies going on in the country right now, and so we're going to be looking at the stay-at-home stocks, a lot of the tech stocks, things like Peloton, Roku, all those stay-at-home stocks for news of coronavirus cases and states that are locking back down. And then another thing to look at that I've been looking at actually the past week is DRI. That's Darden Restaurants. They are a restaurant group. They own Texas Roadhouse, Olive Garden, Bahama Breeze, several others. And a lot of their locations are in Florida. In fact, their headquarters is in Orlando, Florida. And so those are all restaurants. Those are reopening stocks. And as we see Florida reopening, those could be good plays there. So paying attention to the news between states locking down again, states opening up, and figuring out what plays could be a good strategy. So that's it for the look ahead here on this Sunday, September 27th. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're seeing. Again, let's prepare for volatility going into the month of October, and always play the market that we see.